Welcome, everybody, to the 5 secrets that will change your approach to LinkedIn networking. I'm very excited to be with everybody here today. There's 149 people who've registered, so I know that this is a hot topic. And so we're going to jump right in. I've got the recording started so that you will receive this recording within 48 hours of the live program so that you can listen to it again. And if you're not here live, no worries, because like we said, it is being recorded and you will get it soon. All right. Well, I want to just give you a few pieces of housekeeping. You do have a panel on your screen. If you're not seeing the control panel, there's a little orange arrow, and by clicking that, you can open up your panel. If you do have a question anytime during this program, please type it in so you do not forget it. I won't answer the questions as we go along unless there's something really pressing, and then Lori will go ahead and let me know that we have that question, and we'll try to answer it. But otherwise, I'm going to answer them at the end, but I want you to type them in now or at any time so that you don't forget your questions. So I know it's really tempting during a webinar to try to do 6 or 7 things. This guy has 4 hands because he's trying to do a lot of stuff. But I promise you that I am going to keep you engaged and interested. I will maybe ask you to raise your hand at some point, and you'll see again on your panel, there's a little hand, there's a orange arrow, and then your mic, and then a picture of a screen, and then a little hand. And so would everybody just raise their hand right now so I can see that you all know how to do that? That would be really helpful for me. Good. I see Ann already raised her hand, and Jim and Catherine and Ken and Lori and Lindsay and Liz, and good, all the hands are going up. Awesome. All right, good. So you can put your hands down now and just click it again because it toggles it, and now we know how to do that. So that's how I'm going to get you to participate, by show of hands and by chatting things in, and I'm going to keep your full attention because you are going to love every minute of this. All right, let me tell you a little bit about our agenda. So what we want to do today is make sure that we cover 4 things. First, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about myself so you understand why I'm the expert telling you all about LinkedIn. Really what I want to make clear to you today is this is about sales. It's about connecting. It's about networking. LinkedIn is just simply a tool to help us do that. Then I'm going to try to convince you how powerful LinkedIn is. Some of you already know, but I really want to make sure you understand the power of LinkedIn, so it will make the time you spend on LinkedIn very worthwhile for you. Then, of course, I'm going to share the 5 secrets that I've promised, and at the end, I'm going to offer you a way to get some more help if you need it. But this is going to be a power-packed hour, and again, I promise that we will also get to the questions. Now, if you are a tweeter, that sounds funny. If you're a tweeter, please follow me on Twitter, but also go ahead and tweet during this webinar if you so desire, if you're one of those people who can multitask a little, because I do want you to pay attention, of course, to the webinar. But we're using hashtag LinkedIn if you do want to tweet anything. All right, so let's see, I see a couple questions coming in, so I'm sure Lori is monitoring those. All right, let's go ahead and tell you a little bit about Alice's adventures in Wonderland. Well, I wasn't actually born in Wonderland, although sometimes I feel like I probably was. I do a lot of chasing of rabbits down holes, so it is kind of my nickname in a way. I actually started in Englishtown, New Jersey. Anybody else from New Jersey? Raise your hand. Anybody from New Jersey or living in New Jersey now? Oh, I got a couple of hands. My goodness. All right, very good. Well, with 149 people, you'd have to think some of them were from New Jersey. And I got my start in sales selling bras at the Englishtown auction. I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and my mom had to drive me. And I had to open up this place and sell these bras, and it was really a lot of fun, but it was a lot of hard work as well. But I made very good money, and so you know, it was a good job to have while I was in high school. I lived there until I was about 18 years of age, and then I decided to go off to college, and that was a long drive, 13 hours to Indiana University, where I did not study sales. In fact, I have never taken a business class. I've taught a lot of business classes, but I have never taken one. I did study education, special education, and then I actually did get a master's degree. And so I had 3 teaching credentials, one in elementary ed, one in special ed, and one as a reading specialist. So I did start teaching kids not too far from Indiana, actually in Chicago. And then I lived there for a couple of years and decided, wow, the weather here is really horrible, and decided to go west, young woman, where all my family had migrated to from New Jersey. And so I ended up in California, where I taught for a number of years and had a store called Book Adventures. That was my first, I shouldn't say, it was my first for-profit entrepreneurial adventure. It wasn't my first entrepreneurial adventure. I've had several entrepreneurial adventures throughout my life, starting for-profits and nonprofits. But I started Book Adventures because I was teaching, and I saw that there was a huge need for teachers to get their hands on really good stuff to help build good curriculum. So I did that while I was teaching as well. And then, you know, after about 3 years, that really didn't work out. Some businesses do, some businesses don't. And at that time, I didn't want to go back to teaching full-time, so I decided to go work for my dad and stepmother's company, Miller Hyman. Some of you may know that. They're an internationally renowned sales training company. Worked there for about 3 years, learned a ton, got catapulted into the world of business, networking, sales, worked with some of the largest clients they had, Coca-Cola, Hewlett-Packard, AT&T. It was a blast, learned a ton. But if you've ever worked for your parents, you know why I decided to start Alice Hyman LLC. And, of course, what we do at Alice Hyman LLC is help you increase sales. So anytime you want to talk about sales, you let me know. Here's some of the clients I've worked with. You may recognize a few of them. Because I am such a great connector, and it's something I love so much, and I love to network, I was having trouble really figuring out how to meet the people I needed to. So I designed the Biz Talk Blender. And if you're in the Reno area, or if you're a member of one of the national groups that I belong to, you may have had the experience of being at one of the Biz Talk Blenders. It's a great way to network and meet people. So that's a little bit about me, and now we want to get on with LinkedIn. Did you know that there's over 300 million people on LinkedIn? 300 million people. Holy cow. That's a lot of people, and they're in over 200 countries. LinkedIn is an amazing tool. It's an amazing platform. But LinkedIn in and of itself is really nothing. What LinkedIn is a tool or a platform to help us network, to help us get connected, to help us promote ourselves and our business, to help us build our personal brand. And so I want you to think of LinkedIn as a tool and not the means to an end, because it definitely isn't. It's just one way to get connected, to get the networking done. You could also cold call. You could also go to live networking events. You can also do a lot of other things. LinkedIn is just one tool that can help you, and I think that's just a really important thing. But it's a very important tool because look how many people are there. And the search engine power of LinkedIn is absolutely amazing. I have great search engine optimization, and even with that, when I put my name into Google, LinkedIn comes up as the second hit. And I want all of you to do this later. I want you all to go and put your name into Google. Put your company name and your name and see what comes up. But when you put your name in, I guarantee for most of you, unless you have hugely powerful search engine optimization around your own name, LinkedIn will be in the top 3 hits. Now, I don't know about you, but I want that kind of power. I want, when people are looking for me, for them to be able to find me and to be able to find my LinkedIn profile, because it has all kinds of information on it that my website doesn't contain. And it will take them to my website. And it will take them to my Twitter. And it will take them to some of the other things that I share on slideshare.net. So it's a great place to have people land when they're trying to find you and get to know you. Now, if that isn't convincing enough, I want to let you know that your customers are on LinkedIn. I hear that from people. Oh, my customers aren't on LinkedIn. I'm really? Okay, give me a couple of their names. I'll throw them in there. Let's see. Raise your hand if you already know that your customers are on LinkedIn. You've seen them there and you've connected with them. Raise your hand. All right, the hands are flying up. That's awesome. Now, there's a few that aren't flying up, and either you're not paying attention or your customers aren't there or you haven't found them yet. But I'm going to tell you that if you look a little harder, you'll be surprised. Maybe your exact client isn't on there, but other people in their industry are. They have profiles, they have groups, they have company pages, they are publishing. They are there. Now, the statistics show us that, yes, information technology, computer software, financial services, telecom, marketing and advertising, they were the early adopters. They were on there first. But now we have hospital and healthcare. I've got 2 clients in that industry, and they are connecting with doctors and hospital people like crazy on LinkedIn. It is absolutely awesome. Construction, it took a while, but they finally got on there, and now you can connect with architects and general contractors and plumbers and people in the construction trades. Figured it out. They're on LinkedIn. Education management, they're getting on there. The people who are in the ed world are getting on there. Accounting people, manufacturers, not mentioned here, but I've noticed in the last year, because I work with a lot of manufacturers in the state of Nevada, that a lot more manufacturers are getting on. So the people you need to know are on LinkedIn. They truly, truly are. And not just any people. The top level executives, that they're there. They are using LinkedIn. And so why not use LinkedIn if you can find the people you need to there? And it's better than cold calling. I mean, okay, raise your hand if you'd rather cold call. Go ahead. I want to see how many go up. There's going to be 1 or 2 because there's a few people who love to cold call. Okay, I did. I saw 1 hand, 2 hands. That's it. Out of 149 people, 2 hands went up. They'd rather cold call. I wouldn't rather cold call. I'm good at cold calling, but I still don't want to do it. I'd much prefer to have a warm introduction to somebody. And I also want to tell you that you definitely can get business on LinkedIn. I have. I do. I get contacts every day. Here's just 3 of the companies that I've recently done business with who contacted me through LinkedIn. Now, they may have also known my reputation because, yes, I do have a reputation. I do speak. I am out there. But they did contact me through LinkedIn, and we did business that way. Now, I didn't close the deals on LinkedIn. We had to get on the phone to do that part. But the combination of using LinkedIn, email, and telephone, it's definitely going to help you close deals. You will generate leads, you will be able to qualify them, have great conversations, and close business. Raise your hand if you're convinced that LinkedIn is powerful and that you want to spend more time using LinkedIn and that you're ready to hear my 5 secrets. Raise those hands. Right, there's a few people who don't want the 5 secrets. Just kidding. Raise your hands. There we go. All right, everybody's getting there. Okay, excellent. And so just one more little thing in case you're not completely convinced. This is an adopter scale, right? So, you know, we know at the beginning of this curve on this scale, the innovators. Well, that was 2005 for LinkedIn. Between 2005 and 2008 came the innovators and the early adopters. And, you know, it's 2014, people. So if you are not on LinkedIn, or, yeah, I threw a profile up there, but I haven't done anything, I hate to tell you, but you are considered a laggard because LinkedIn is here. It's here to stay. It's doing great. It's powerful, and you just simply need to be there. But just being on LinkedIn is not enough. It requires some attention. So that's why you're here. You want to hear the secrets. You want to hear how we're going to change the way you network. So tell me, what do you want to learn? Go ahead and type in now. If there's something specific that you want to be sure you learn on this webinar today, type it right in there so that we can get to that later when we get to our questions. So go ahead and type those in. All right, I see people typing questions in. That's awesome. And while you're typing those, I will continue on to the 5 secrets that will change your approach to LinkedIn networking. All right, everybody ready? Get your pencils out. Here we go. Okay, it's recorded, so you don't really have to get your pencils out, but you might want to. Secret number 1, it's just like real life. Okay, I've already said it once. I'm going to say it a lot more times. LinkedIn is just a tool. A coffee shop is a tool for networking. A professional organization is a tool for networking. A trade show is a tool for networking. Facebook, Twitter, those are tools for networking, okay? They're all tools to help you get connected just like we do in real life. How many of you would go to a trade show or a networking event with a bag over your head and no business cards? Raise your hand. Okay, not one hand went up because nobody would do that. And yet, I go onto LinkedIn and find people without a picture, no information on their profile. So basically, bag over their head and no business cards. So we don't want to be the person who's standing in the corner, hiding from everyone. We want to be present at that trade show, present at that event, present at the coffee shop talking to our prospect. We need to be present if we want to be a part of it. So it's just like real life. You got to show up. And just like in real life, if I see you, I wave at you. If I pull into the parking lot and you're pulling out, I wave at you. If I see you standing on line and I'm getting on the line, I wave at you. You know, if I see you from a distance, I wave at you. And on LinkedIn, I wave at you by clicking like. Now, if I have a little more time than that, and I'm at the coffee shop and I'm pulling in, you're pulling in, we both go stand online together, well then we might chat for a minute. And if we had even more time, we might sit down and have a cup of coffee together. On LinkedIn, you do the same thing. I see you, I wave at you, I click like. I have a little time, I might read what you've posted or share what you've posted. I might comment on what you've posted. Or if I have a little more time, I might even go and send you a private message. Oh, hey, I saw your post. I haven't seen you for a long time. Love to reconnect. When can we get together? By phone, by Skype, by coffee shop, whatever your method is. But this is just like real life. And if you're not using LinkedIn that way, you won't build relationships. It will just be another cold call list. So you definitely need to think about interacting just like real life. Because your most valuable asset is not time, and it's not money, and it's not the things you own. It's the people in your life. It's your network. And your job as a business professional today is to build a network that is strong, that is usable, so that it can be leveraged when you need people to work for you, resources for your business, funding for your business, or more sales, which we all want. So build a strong, usable network that can be leveraged, and use LinkedIn as a wonderful tool to help you do that. Now you're saying to me, oh yeah, that's great, Alice, I don't have any more time. Well, guess what? You spend time selling and marketing and networking every single week. That's what you do as a salesperson, as a business owner, as a business leader. You spend time selling, marketing, and networking. You need to spend time on LinkedIn. Schedule it in. Get it on your calendar. Just like real life. You put your networking events on your calendar. You put your time to do marketing on your calendar. You put your time to do LinkedIn on your calendar. And in my opinion, you need to do it daily if you want results. So in the business world, we're interacting with people on a daily basis, and we need to get results. So we've got to do it consistently. Secret number 2, just like real life, you got to add value. People don't want to hang around with you if you don't add value to their life, if you don't add fun, if you don't add information, if you don't add something valuable to them, they're not going to hang around with you anymore. So you have to think about, how are you adding value on LinkedIn? And in this case, you're going to do that by sharing things. You're going to share great information. If I can get the slide to advance. There we go. You're going to share great information, and let's go see what that looks like live on LinkedIn. One moment. So we're going to switch screens here. There we go. I think you should be able to see LinkedIn now. Maybe not. Let's try. Okay, that did not work. Hang on. All right, so now you can see LinkedIn. And what I want to show you is how to share great information. There's lots of ways. The first way you can share great information is find somebody else's great information and click the share button. Really simple. All right. The next way you can share great information is if you have your own blog or white papers or anything like that. You go to the place where you store that on the internet, which is Flow Today. There we go. You click on the link, you grab the URL, Control-C or copy, go back to LinkedIn, and share valuable information. Now that's an ugly link there, so I'm just going to delete it and it will stay there. And then you type something about it to try to get people engaged, to try to, ask a question, get them to be engaged with you. So that's another way to share. You can go out on the internet and read a great article by Jeff Bullis or anybody that you like on any topic that you think your followers will be interested in. You can grab that URL. You can just Control-C, go ahead and share that. So it's really easy to share good information, but you definitely want to share information on a daily basis so that you're adding value. It starts to elevate your status as an expert. People see that you know your topic. Not only can you write about your own topic, but you can also share information about your topic from other experts as well. So that really helps people. So definitely want to share great information. Another way to share great information and add value is to send a private note to somebody, and some of you may have gotten a note like this from me, where I say, thanks for connecting. Here are some articles that will help you use LinkedIn. So how do I know you needed those articles? Because I don't just send those to everybody. When people ask me to connect, I look at their profile and I see whether I think it's in, really good shape to really help them get the results they want. If I think it's really perfect, I wouldn't probably send these articles to them. I might send something else. But if it looks like their profile can use some help, I just say thanks for connecting. LinkedIn's a great tool. Here are some articles that will help you use LinkedIn. So I'm adding value by giving a private message with some valuable information. You could send somebody an article on anything, or you could tell them about an event or a networking that's coming up that you want to go to and you're inviting them to. But don't try to sell too much here. Now, I did add on the bottom that, I'm having a free LinkedIn webinar. But I wouldn't really go any further than that in terms of sales. A lot of people send these long sales letters on LinkedIn, and I just delete them immediately, and I'm sure you do as well. The deal is you've got to add value. Now, another cool way to add value is actually a new tool. It's been around since 2012 for a certain subset of the population. People who are already in the publishing industry have been able to use this publishing platform. But did you know that you can now have access to that platform? that means you can start publishing things that over 300 million people will see. So if you've got great articles and great content and you want to publish it, then you need to request access by visiting this link. Now, Lori's going to put that link right into the chat box so that you can see it in just a minute, and you'll have that link. And, of course, it's on the recording as well. But that's what you can do. So, secret number 1, it's just like real life. Secret number 2 is part of that real life. You have to add value or nobody's going to want to hang out with you. Remember, you're trying to get people to know you, like you, and trust you, because those are the only people who are going to introduce you to other people, share with you, buy from you. So you've got to add value. Secret number 3, it's not a resume. Oh my gosh, I just cannot tell you how many people put their resume up on LinkedIn. You have a resume for a reason. And when somebody wants your resume, you give it to them. LinkedIn is not a resume. You know what it is? Here's another secret. This is the 6th secret. It's a free advertisement. If you had to pay for that much space on the internet with that powerful search engine optimization, it would cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. And you can get it for free. So if you got a $10,000 ad in the Wall Street Journal for free, would you just throw some stuff up there? Probably not. So I really want you to think about this. This is a free ad on the internet that over 300 million people have the potential of seeing. How would you treat that page now knowing that? So you need to become a good writer, and if you're not a good writer, find somebody who is. You need to write messages that are clear and crisp and clean and grab the reader's attention. Should do that on your resume as well. This is not a resume, but that's the same kind of thing you want to do on your resume. You are trying to grab the reader's attention. Somebody lands on your page, and you want them to stay there. So you want to have words that get them to stay. The words get them to recognize themselves. Oh, I need what this person has. I need what this company is selling, because they read it and they recognize it. So treat it like the expensive ad that it really is, and write great messaging that grabs the reader's attention. Secret number 4, your profile does matter. Now, I just actually proved that to you. If somebody lands on your profile and it looks like a resume, they might think you're trying to find a job versus that you are a business owner trying to promote your business or a salesperson that's selling for a company. So you need to figure out what your profile should look like and what it should say to get the attention it needs. And every little piece of your profile matters. The information on your profile helps people connect with you. It helps them know who you are. They see that you went to Indiana University, and they go, oh, I went to Indiana University. Instant bond. They see that you volunteer for the Boys and Girls Club. I volunteer for the Boys and Girls Club. Instant bond. So you're trying to get people to land on your page, stay on your page, and connect with you. These may be people that you already know and you're trying to get a deeper connection and build a better relationship with, especially if they're a prospect for a sale that you're trying to make. Or they could be people who searched and found you and had never met you before, like some of the sales that I got from LinkedIn. Someone just searched and found me. And if my profile hadn't spoke volumes about me and what I do and how I do it, if it didn't help them connect with me, they would have jumped off that page immediately. So think about the information that you can put on your page that will help people get to know you, connect with you, so that they can know you, like you, and trust you. Because we know that people are not going to buy unless they do know you, like you, and trust you. They're not going to introduce you to their boss or their friends. They're not going to give you resources. They're not going to help you find employees. They're not going to do any of that stuff. So just like in real life, in person, you get to know people. You shake their hands. You look them in the eye. You chat about them. You learn about them. You've got to do this on LinkedIn as well. Because if you see a profile like this, now this is my good friend Susan's, and I did ask her permission to use this. If you look her up now, you'll see a beautiful profile because I convinced her that she needed to spend time on it. She had no picture. She had no information. All she had was this headline and her email address. That was it. Pretty much the rest of her profile was blank. Well, how are you going to connect with that? Now, here's a really important part of this secret number 4. Your profile does matter, and a super important part of your profile is your photo. People ask me all the time, oh, you know, is this photo okay? And oh my gosh, you will not believe the photos that I see. I'm going to show you a few of them in a minute. They're absolutely awful. Your photo matters because this is how people bond with you. So when I see a person from across the room at a networking event or a trade show, I catch their eye, I look at them, we walk towards each other, I can see their face, I can see their smile. Do I connect with a person who's grouchy, grumpy, looking down, dressed schlumpy? No, I don't connect with that person. I connect with somebody who's smiling, who's looking up and looking around so they could even possibly catch my eye. Right? And so that's my photo in real life. I get to see a real person. But on LinkedIn, you don't get that. So your photo matters. It's the first thing that people see. It's going to make them jump off your page or stay on your page. So it needs to be a current photo people can recognize so that if they did meet you in person, they would walk right up to you and know you. Not a picture from 10 years ago and you don't look like that anymore. Not a snapshot with your sunglasses on so people can't tell who you are. A photo. Now, it doesn't have to be taken by a professional photographer, but it does need to be taken with a background that is not distracting, in good lighting, when you are dressed in business attire. So we can have this little picture that LinkedIn will put up automatically for us. Doesn't help us at all. We can, you know, cut and paste a little picture from our Facebook thing or something, or we can put up a photo that's going to help people connect. Look at her eyes. Her eyes are pulling you in. It's helping you bond with her. So your photo does matter because it's the first thing that people look at. It's the first impression on LinkedIn, and you really need to get this part right. The other reason it's so important is because all throughout LinkedIn, these little pictures are used in different ways. Now look at this woman on the broom. Does that look like a professional that you would like to connect with? I mean, seriously, that's a great Facebook photo. Now how about this? Somebody put their logo up instead of their face. How is that going to help me get to know them? That tells me they're just all about their business and not about a person. They can put up a company page if they want to have their logo up there. This is for a personal profile. You put a picture up. This one's not bad because I can see his face, but you know, when the smaller these pictures get, the harder it is if the resolution is bad, or in this case, the background is distracting. This one's not too bad, but even that background, which I know a professional put up, is a little bit distracting. So really what we want to see is your face. Your face should fill up the picture. That's the most important thing. Well, look at this one of Steve. You know, can you really, when it's that small, can you really figure out who that is if you meet them in real life? You know, maybe this one's not too bad. But, you know, as you look at these pictures, you decide which ones help you bond with a person and which ones don't. This one definitely, I can't even see the person's face. We're in a backpack. This one's so dark you can see nothing. This one's, you know, the lighting's terrible. Now, this one of Eddie, I got to say, this looks exactly like Eddie. And Eddie wears a hat every single day of his life. So for Eddie, he should wear his hat in his picture because he really does. But if you don't wear a hat every single day of your life, don't put a hat in your LinkedIn picture. These fun pictures, they're for Facebook. We need a business picture. I hope I've convinced you. and I hope you're all going to run and change your picture. And look, again, you don't need a professional. Just get a background that is not distracting. Get your iPhone and get a real close-up shot. So make sure you look really good that day. Get a real close-up shot and put that in there. All right. So raise your hand if you are going to put up a new picture. Let's see, I've lost my bar. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know where it went, but anyway, I hope a lot of you are raising your hand if you're going to change your picture. Secret number 5. This is the last secret. They're all important, but this one's really important too. It's called social media for a reason. Okay? So people just think because it's on the internet, maybe they don't have to interact, but you do. You have to interact. If you want to get results, you have to be social. Now, for some of you who are shy, I definitely understand that it is not so easy for you to be social, especially in real life. I get that. And so maybe when you go to a networking event or you go to a trade show, what you do is you go with somebody like me who's very outgoing and will introduce you to everyone. Great, no problem. Or maybe you just like to go to smaller gatherings or meet with people one at a time. That's fine. If you're shy, if you're introverted, great. Do it that way. But you still have to interact. Again, back to number 1, it's just like real life. So if you want to get to know people on LinkedIn, you have to interact with them. You have to care about them. You have to be interested in them. You have to ask them questions. You have to get them to respond. You have to get to know them. And the way you get to know them is by reading their profile, watching what they post, clicking like on what they post, commenting on what they post, sharing what they post. That's how you get to know them. And you have to let them get to know you. And that's why your profile has to be really engaging. It has to say where you went to school. It has to show some media. It has to be an advertisement in a good kind of a way for what you do. It has to engage people. So you get to know them and they get to know you. So one way to do that is to send a personal message when you connect. I cannot tell you how many messages I get with, I have no idea who these people are, and they didn't give me a clue. They just put, I'd like to add you to my professional network on LinkedIn. Are you kidding me? I mean, so now what am I supposed to do? Should I connect with you? I don't know you. LinkedIn says don't connect with people that you don't know. Well, that's kind of a crazy statement anyway, because isn't networking about meeting people that you don't know? Of course it is, but there's a way to do it. This is not, the no on there tells you this is not the way to do it. Because I'm trying to bond with you, get you to be my new business friend, learn about you. So I need to tell you who I am and why I want to connect with you. So here's an example of what you should do. Tell them how you met. You know, whichever, so this person has to be my classmate. Use a business format. Hi, Jim, comma. Sounds like you had a great year. I saw on your Facebook page you're 100% a quota. When is that trip to Kauai? Doesn't look like you need any of my sales tips, but just in case, and this is somebody I went to high school with, I'd like to, and then I can put, I'd like to add you to my professional network on LinkedIn. But they know that when you're sending them a request, so you don't have to write that. So please don't ever send another connection request without a personal note. Caution, if you use the mobile format of LinkedIn on your iPad or on your iPhone or on your tablet or on your smartphone of any kind, if you use the mobile LinkedIn, it does not give you the opportunity to write a personal note. So unless I'm standing right next to you and saying I'm going to connect with you on LinkedIn, and I hit the button right then and you get it right then, I don't do it. Because a day from now, you may not remember you met me at the trade show. So I'm going to go to my computer and I'm going to take the time to write a personal note. because I want you to get to know me, like me, and trust me. I want to have a relationship with you that will lead me to resources, people, money, and sales. So again, just like in real life, you know, I don't walk up to you at a networking event and shake your hand and don't say anything and let you guess who I am. I don't do that. I give you information. We chat. So super important to connect with people in a way that lets them know who you are. Another way to interact, which I've already mentioned, is to click like. It's the simplest, easiest way. We started off by saying it's just like real life. If I see you, I wave at you. I don't ignore you and hope you didn't see me. So if I'm on LinkedIn for any matter of minutes, I'm going to scroll through the activity and click like and let people know I saw them. I'm waving at them. Hi, I see you. And if I have a little bit more time than that, then I'll comment. I'll just make a little comment. I'll read what you wrote, I'll read what you posted, and I'll interact with you by commenting. And if I really like it and I think my followers will like it too, I'll interact with you by sharing this. Here's what I shared. I shared your stuff. People really like it when you share their stuff. I think it really helps them bond to you. And then you've got to keep in touch. So now you've got all these people. I have about 4,000 people on my LinkedIn. That's great. What do? Never talk to any of them again? No, I've got to keep in touch. In the old days, we used to send a Christmas card out. Well, I've got LinkedIn now, so I don't have to do that. So I can keep track of my business network really well with LinkedIn. There's so many features that even can give you reminders. You can tag people. You can put them in groups. You can do searches and find people and save lists of people so that you can keep in touch with them. You can send them personal messages to keep in touch. You can do any of the things I told you. Click, like, share. You know, you can pick up the phone and call them. Just scroll through your LinkedIn list and go, who have I not talked to for a while? I think I'll call them. Or who have I not kept in touch with for a while? I think I'll write them a handwritten note. But this is the greatest thing about LinkedIn. It's like reading someone's mind. You can see all the people they're connected to, and you can pick up the phone and call them and say, I see that you're connected to Alice. I'd love to meet her. Would you introduce me? Okay? So LinkedIn can help you in multitudes of ways. So tell me, what have you learned? Everybody type in something that you learned today that really made an impact on you. And let me just watch those answers flying in. All right, what have you learned? Wow, okay, lots of good stuff coming in. LinkedIn is not a resume, and it's an ad. Sending message with sending your message with a connect request. Somebody learned that they're going to rewrite their profile. I like that I can segment people. Thinking of LinkedIn as a free ad. Treat it like a free ad. Lots of those. Did not know about the publishing aspect. Being able to delete the URL after you snare it because it will put what you want there and then you can take it away. Being committed to spending time. The photo is really important. Good, good, good. People like it when you include them by sharing. And never made the connection that it's just like real life. Great. So much good learning going on. Really exciting. So let's review these 5 secrets. Secret number 1, it's just like real life. And really all the other secrets sort of fall out of that. Secret number 2, add value, just like you do for your friends or the people you play tennis with, the people you ski with, the people you play soccer with. You add value to their life in some way. The reading club that you're in, you know, at work, you add value. You have to add value online as well because you're trying to be a real person just like in real life. It's not a resume. So if you've got a bunch of bullets, get in there and fix that. Think of it as an ad. Be a little ad for that company. Be a little ad for what you can do and how you can help people. So your most current job is the most important one, or if you're a business owner, that's the one you want to spend the most time and attention with. But on those other jobs that you have listed, just put 3 to 5 sentences about what that company does, a little ad for them, which shows that you worked for a really cool company, okay? Because it's not a resume. Secret number 4, your profile does matter, and I'm going to go look at everybody's pictures. I want to see your profile filled out, and I want to see photos of smiling faces with good lighting that look just like you, so the next time I see any of you anywhere, I'll recognize you immediately. And secret number 5, it's social media. You've got to interact with people just like you do in real life. You've got to interact with people. All right, so if you need more help, I'm going to offer you some more help. If you're serious about building your LinkedIn profile, connections, and your business, you can join us on June 5th to learn how to do that and more. There's so many things I couldn't show you today. Just really, really cool features of LinkedIn that you can use. And we'll talk about whether you need to pay for LinkedIn or not. And by the way, don't pay until you've exhausted all the free features. That's for sure. So none of you run out and pay for LinkedIn. Use the features that you've got. So it's really easy to sign up for this class. And if you do it today before midnight, you're going to get $50 off. The link is there. And again, Lori's going to chat that to you so you have that link and you can click it immediately. And so this is going to give you my LinkedIn class, which is a 2-part series. The first part is all about how to perfect your profile, and we're going to dig into every single section of that profile and make sure it's right. Make sure the picture's right. Make sure all your links are right. Make sure you know how to add media. Just every little piece of that, we're going to dig into that. And then for the second time we meet, which will be a week later so that you have time to perfect your profile, the next class is going to be on what to do on a daily basis. Have you spend 15 to 30 minutes a day, and what should you do in that 15 to 30 minutes that's going to make a difference for you, that's going to get the results, that's going to make LinkedIn more than a cold call list for you. So if you've got everything you need today and you can go and run with it, please do that. It's awesome. But if you need more help, please consider getting on the class with us because it will be a lot of fun, I promise, and you will really learn all of the things that you need to learn. Of course, I'd like you to connect with me on LinkedIn. So it's really easy to find me, linkedin.com/in/Alice Hyman. And one of the things I'll teach you in the class is how to make a clean LinkedIn URL like that. So most of you have a LinkedIn URL that has a whole bunch of numbers and letters and everything else in it. And I can teach you how to make a clean LinkedIn URL just like that. And so now I am going to answer questions. And so I'm going to get my question box open. And we're going to answer some questions here. So hang on a second. If I figure out how to do that, it'll be awesome.
Alice?
Yes.
There is a few of the questions were how to find prospects that need their services specifically.
Great, great question. So let's start with that one. So how do you find prospects that need your services specifically? Well, how do you do that now? One of the things you do is you go to trade shows. Sometimes you buy a list. Okay, so if you know, for example, that the person at a company that buys your products and services is the VP of sales, and you know the companies most likely to need your products and services are companies between 50 and 200 million, and they're anywhere in the United States, and you know you want to talk to the VP of sales, then what you do is you go right into LinkedIn, and I will be showing you this in the training class more thoroughly, and you do a search, and you can, it gives you all these parameters, the title of the person, the location, the industry, and you put all that information in, and then it will build a list for you of everybody on LinkedIn that fits those parameters which you put in. So it's not hard to do. You can use the advanced search feature right on the toolbar. In fact, I can show you that really quick right now. If you go and look at the top where it says search for people, jobs, companies, over here it says advanced. When you click that, you can see that you can put in keywords, a location, the country, the postal code. You can put in the industry, the level, and you can build a search for yourself. So that's pretty easy to do, and then you can save searches also. If you pay, that is one of the features you get to do more of, more saved searches. But I think you can save 1 or 2 searches even with the free version. So that's a great question. All right, now let's see. I'm looking here. Lori, maybe you can find and read a couple more questions, because I think some of them went into the chat and some of them went into the question box.
Another one was how to prevent my competitors from linking to my clients.
Okay, I've had this question many times. First of all, there's no way for your competitors to look through your contacts and know who are your customers. There's absolutely no way for them to do that. There's nothing on anybody's profile that says, hey, this is my customer. Now, if you put in your profile a list of all your customers, and then you are also connected to all those customers, I guess somebody could spend the time to look at your list and then go through your 500 or more contacts and see if they could find those people at those companies. Let them have at it. More power to them. They're going to have to cold call them. So what? They don't know them. They don't have a relationship with them. You have a relationship with them. They could just as easily build a list and say, I want all the VPs of sales in San Francisco that are from tech companies, which is would be some of your clients. They could build that list and find them that way. So there's really nothing screaming, hey, these are my clients. And I think that it would take an inordinate amount of time for somebody to come find you specifically, figure out who your customers were, you know, what company names, and then scroll through all of your contacts to find those. So it's just not something I would worry about one single bit. How about another one, Lori?
The next one, let's see, is there a difference between LinkedIn Premium and the standard version?
Yes, there is a difference, but there's not much of a difference. And unless every time you try to do something it says upgrade, I wouldn't upgrade. If you need to do a lot of saved searches, or if you're in recruiting specifically, then you will want to pay. But I do pay for the premium version only because I'm teaching this and I need to see the difference. I hardly ever use any of the premium features, sometimes when I'm building a list. So I really don't think you need it. I see one from Misty. Hi, Misty. If you don't know a person, do you just ask them to be your friend? That's a great question, and I am going to show you this in depth on the other training. But basically, you'll have a choice, and let's just go see that choice here. Hang on one second. So if I close this out, and I want to, I have to find somebody that I don't actually know to do this. But let's see, who's this Jan Richardson? I don't think I know her, so I can tell I don't know her because she has second next to her name. So let's go look at her and see who she is. President of Missing Piece Marketing. All right. So the first thing I would do if I want to meet this person and build a relationship with them is get someone to introduce me. So I'm going to scroll down and see who could introduce me. Well, here are 3 people who could introduce me. I pick the one that I know best or feel the most comfortable with, and then I ask them to make an introduction, and I tell them why. And I simply can do that by clicking Getting Introduced, and pick the person who's going to introduce me, and then I fill this out and put a nice message to the net and tell her why I want to meet Jan, and she introduces me. As soon as Jan accepts the introduction, then I send a nice personal message to her telling her more. Okay? But I'm not trying to sell her anything. No, not trying to sell her anything, because if I do, she's not going to accept my request. This is not a sales tool. It's a prospecting tool. We don't sell when we're networking. When we're networking, we build relationships. When we're prospecting, we build relationships. When someone says they're interested, then the selling can begin. So I don't even know if this person is interested. There would be no reason for me to sell anything to them. So that's one way you can do it. Another way you can do it is you click the Connect button and you choose, well, she's not my colleague, She's not my classmate. We haven't done business together. She's not my friend. So the answer is other, and then I need her email address, or I don't know Jan. Now, if I pick I don't know Jan, I better write a darn good reason in here for her to connect with me so that she doesn't click it as spam or ignore. If you get enough spam clicks, by the way, you will get in LinkedIn jail. So don't connect. I had somebody who did get in LinkedIn jail. He had 10,000 connections. He just went wild connecting with anyone and everything, anyone and everyone. He just, I don't know what he was thinking, made himself a great big cold call list. Well, not so good. And he did get in LinkedIn jail, and he did finally get them to let him out. So include a personal note here where you put, I don't know Jan. Hi, Jan. You don't know me. This is who I am, and this is the reason I want to connect with you. I'd be honored if you would consider connecting. Awesome. That's just great, okay? So that's another thing you can do. Now, if it's somebody that I vaguely know, like they probably know who I am, or I maybe met them quickly at an event, I will use we've done business together. And I'll choose the one, like if it was a Biz Talk Blinder, I'll choose that. If it was because they were in my entrepreneurship class, I'll choose that. But so if I think they might not remember who I am, I don't really know them, I've only just barely talked to them one time, I will still, if they know me a little bit, I'll choose one of these. And I'll do it that way. But I still write a completely personal message. I even take the dash out usually. I even take that off. And I write hi and the person's name and a comma, and I write a nice note. So I hope that helps. I think that is really the best way to connect with the people that you don't know. All right, I have time for just a couple more questions, so let's see what we've got. Oh, Misty said no jail. Yeah, we don't want to get in LinkedIn jail. I actually got in Facebook jail, and it wasn't because I was connecting to, I'm telling you the truth here, this is very funny. It wasn't because I was connecting to people I didn't know. It was because I was mass inviting people to events using this tool that's a Google Chrome plugin. So when you have an event, you could invite 50 people at a time, and I did it. So I invited probably 1,000 people that way, and then it put me in jail, and it would not let me invite any more people to events. But it finally let me out of jail. So anyway, someone's asking, how do you disconnect with someone? Okay, very simple. Let's just go find somebody in my network that I don't like anymore. Just kidding. I'll find Misty. Just kidding, Misty. And I'll show you. It's really easy. Just click their name. Okay, and then, well, it used to be really easy. Hang on a second. I just said that. Oh, it's in the drop-down now. So if I don't want to be connected to Brent anymore, I just go down here and say remove connection. So it says send message. I click the down arrow, remove connection. Or if they're being a pain, I can block or report them. Okay? All right, let's see. Somebody else. Oh, Misty went to Facebook jail too. Misty, I'm glad I'm not alone. All right. Any other questions? Let's look through and see if there's something.
Alice?
Yes.
The other question was specific to Facebook as to whether or not you should duplicate your information from your Facebook to LinkedIn. Is it a no-no?
Okay, so here's the deal. You have a personal brand, even if you are not the business owner. If you are a salesperson or an employee of any company, you have a personal brand, and you want to maintain that personal brand because someday you might not work at that company and you might want to work somewhere else, or you might want to start a business. Who knows? So you need to maintain your personal brand. Now, it's up to you how you do that. Some people use their Facebook just for personal, but trust me, any employer, the first thing they're going to do before they hire you is check all your social media. And most of what's on Facebook is public, so they're going to see it anyway. So you have to decide what your personal brand is. I have a personal brand with a very high integrity, high profile. I like people to know me, but I'm not going to put everything out there, so I'm careful on my Facebook page. Business-wise, yes. If you want people to find you for business and know what you do, you should have the same information on your Facebook as you do on LinkedIn. But they're different formats, and there isn't even space for all of the same stuff. So you decide. For me, I do have the same picture, and I have always done that. Now, I changed my picture because I've been wearing my hair curly, and I had a straight hair picture, and I thought, got to get rid of that because I want you to recognize me. And if I go to my Facebook page, it's the same thing. You'll see that same picture because it's my brand, and I want you to see my brand, and I want you to recognize me and know me. So there's my picture. Now, I put a lot of personal stuff on Facebook. I put a lot of personal stuff on Facebook. I don't put any personal stuff on LinkedIn, except for, I mean, not stuff about my family. I put where I go to college, and I put where I went to high school, you know, some of those kinds of things, but I don't put things about my friends and family on LinkedIn. So they're really two different platforms for two different reasons. And as with any social media, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, Facebook, blogs, anything, you have to figure out what your company needs, what your personal brand needs, and you choose those platforms based on that. All right, it looks like we're out of time. Thank you so much, everyone, for being with me today to learn the 5 secrets. And I do hope you'll join us for our 2-part series and dig into your profile and learn exactly what you need to do to get the results that you want on LinkedIn. It's really a fabulous tool, and I hope I've convinced you to spend time every day using this tool to help you build and maintain a network that you can leverage anytime you need resources or people or funding or sales. So have a great day, everyone.